Ahoy everyone, it's Jeff, aka God the Scammer. Gonna apologise about the background noise and the traffic, and sorry, I'm just gonna set this up a bit better. That's better. Um, I'm gonna record a video, and it's only very fitting that I make this old school pint and smoke kind of video in the pub, outside of a pub, because it's almost kind of how I got. It's almost kind of how I got started on this platform, and it's very fitting for this video. Don't know when this will probably be uploaded when I'm back from the pub, because there's no chance I'm going to be able to upload it here. But after the last couple of videos I made, and I don't know. I don't want to say they were bad videos. That's subjective. Some people would, think they're good. Some would think they're bad. The one I did on my thoughts on the situation with Dr. Robert Price, for example, got some very mixed comments. Some people were very supportive, and others were like, "Fuck you, lefty SJW," sort of thing. But hey, comes with the territory, doesn't it? And I'm going to even say thank you to you guys as well in a minute. I guess the reason I'm making this is I broke 500 subscribers today. It's a figure I never thought I would get anywhere near when I started doing this. In fact, honestly, I didn't think any 5 people would really want to listen to me talk about shit. Let alone 500. I know, I'm sure YouTube, being YouTube, are going to be bastards and prune several subs off of me by the end of the night to put me under 500 again, because YouTube are pricks like that. But I guess this video is going to be, first of all, thank you to a whole number of people, but I guess as well I'm going to do a bit of a reflection of my time here on this platform and why I started my channel, how I've changed, and a whole bunch of, where hopefully I can, if possible, where I can hopefully go from here as well. I started, my first video went up almost 5 years ago. It was in start of May 2017. I had the handle on YouTube of Mr. Medal Lover 666, a handle I would, after about two years of pounding away at this, would change. And I guess I started this as a bit of a personal therapy for myself. And I guess in some respects, this is still a bit of personal therapy for myself and personal hobby, something to do. I've never been under any illusions that I'm going to be ever giving PewDiePie a run for his money or anything. Well aware of that when I started. But I started this in the, I guess it was around about 5 years ago. It was around about this time in 2017 that I had a rather bad breakup with someone I'd been with for quite a while. I was a bit down in the dumps with, but I should say, for the record, that I'm actually on very good terms with her now, and we're good friends. But at the time, it wasn't. It didn't end well, and I was in a bit of a state after that, and um, I also did a lot of shit around about that time that I'm not proud of doing in the sort of months after my breakup, and that stuff's on me because that's stupidity on my own behalf, and I just say it involved a lot of overindulgence on certain things, and maybe one or two certain substances, shall we say. That I guess that's you could say that, and I think that's about as far as I can really go with that. I'm sorry if I'm being a bit evasive right now, but that's a bit difficult for me to talk about. But I feel it lends it's kind of somewhat important. It's important to people know where I was when I started this channel. And I think a lot of my early videos as well is I had a period where I watched a lot of, I don't know, you'd say YouTube drama, I suppose you could call it. I know I did quite a few videos covering um, Onision or whatever early on, because that guy I came across that guy and he just pissed me the fuck off. And he still does, and there's been the odd occasion where I've will dip my toes back into that, but it's not the kind of content I want to be doing. But that was what a lot of my early stuff was. Something else happened in the opening, the first few months of me starting that channel, this channel, and it was that when I started off, I was a polytheist. I guess you'd say heathen would probably be one of the better terms, because I was very much Norse polytheism. But within a few months, I sort of came to the conclusion I didn't really believe in this stuff, and I didn't believe in gods or anything, and I started identifying with atheism, and I guess gradually some of my content started to go in that direction a bit, and I still say that's a bit of what I do. It has to be. I've got a handle now that almost implies it. A few things happened about. I mean, it was very slow. It was a very slow start. I'm not going to say. I'd say my channel started to get a bit. I'm not going to say get big because I'm not big, but I'd say I started to get noticed and a little bit of traction within the kind of atheist community on a small level. When in around about, I think it was 2019, so it was about over 2 years after I sort of started doing this, and I hadn't really been doing it like seriously or anything, but I changed from Mr. Metal Lover 666 to God the Scummer, and there's a whole video going back a few years where I explained why I was changing my handle and why I was doing what I'm doing. And I guess I started to get noticed by some people a bit more, and I started to make friends in the community. I've made a lot of great friends. I'm gonna shout a few people out. and not all of them are actually atheists, by the way, but kind of in around the community. I've got to say, I'm going to say Dave Warley. I have to say a bit of a thank you to him because I think he was one of the very first to sort of take a chance on me and actually interview me on his podcast. And I know a lot of people are kind of up and down on Dave. I'll always be grateful to him for taking a chance on me. Um, um, Polymathic Jen was also one of the very first to kind of platform me as well. That was over a situation which was which we were best not to talk about. It was a bit of drama that sadly has started to rear its head again um, recently, but we won't get into what that is. Um, and I'm going to say, actually, not just Jen, but everyone at the Hereticals channel, Atheist Pastor, Jay, Claire, almost Dr. Matt, you know, all, everybody there. Even though I'm not part of the channel officially, they've kind of made me feel like I am part of the family there. So I've got to give a shout out to them. I've got to give a special shout out to One Ring 42 and Noodle. And I did a whole, for a whole 2 years, myself and Noodle did these reviews of the Asterix comic book series. I think we kind of got to, by the end of it, we were kind of, I think, getting a bit like fed up with a lot of the tropes in there, but that I really enjoyed collaborating with Noodle on that, and I'm obviously very thankful that I still that One Ring and kind of brought me in to do media musings as well, with himself and Noodle, and so with himself and Noodle. Sorry, pronoun slip. I apologise, Ring. Um, uh, so thanks to Ring and Noodle. Critical Cripple. Somebody who took a chance on me very early on as well. I became a bit of a regular, especially during the lockdown. Critical Questions. I met a lot of great friends, through there as well. There's a whole bunch of people. Pale Blue Mama has been fantastic. Um, Badger, Stool, yeah, I'll give you to say Stool, Math Pig. Yeah, there's so many names actually that if I'm leaving anyone out, I actually apologise. But um, most of the community has been rather wonderful to me. Um, barring a few exceptions who we won't name, but most of the community has actually been very wonderful to me. If I'm leaving anyone out here, I'm apologise. I will mention a couple more names. I'm going to mention. Oh, there's one. I just realised there's a very glaring omission. Actually, I just realised I missed. I do have to mention the Shills. They took a chance on having me on and had me on obviously liked me enough to have me on quite a few times now. So everyone in the Shills, and I'm going to say a special shout out to Sarcastic Barman because I actually got to meet him last year. I actually went up to his pub and spent a couple of hours having a good couple of ciders with him. I'm going to say Answers and Reason, especially I'm going to say Joe because we had a bit of a messy night out in Bournemouth together. So these are guys I've actually met up with in real life, and I actually do hope one day to actually be able to meet a few more of you up in real life. And again, I'm sorry if I'm leaving people out here, but there's so many people. I could, it could be like a blooming. I don't really want this to turn into like an Oscars kind of speech. But yeah, I'm. Last. I mean, I don't want to finish on there because people know I had some frustrations with the atheist community in the last year. Um, I still got them to a large extent, but I'm also, happier with the kind of people I've found as well. I'm have been trying to dive a bit more into philosophical topics, even though I know that's a subject I'm not um, expert in. This is something I'm trying to learn, and yeah, I might do a bit more of that on my channel going forward. But I'm not going to change too much, and I'm still going to do the odd videos like this where I just sit down in the pub and have a pint and make this a bit like a kind of fireside chat kind of thing, I suppose, or a pub chat, I suppose, whatever way you want to look at it. But thanks to everyone who supported me. Like I said earlier, I'm amazed that 5 people even gave a shit about what I've got to say, let alone 500. Um, I'm sure by the time I upload this, YouTube will make sure I'm under 500 again, because that's their scheme of things. But thanks very much. It's nice to be able to make something that's a bit more positive, because I feel like the last couple videos or so that I've done has been a bit negative because of the things I've been covering. First of all, the price thing, and then I had to take one of my childhood heroes, Matt Letizio, to task over the stuff he's regularly tweeting. So it's kind of nice to do something like this. Um, at some point in the um, at some point in the next few days, I'm going to either tomorrow or the weekend or whatever. I'm gonna do a 500 subscriber bash. Um, so we'll just have a hangout and I don't know, sit there, drink for a bit, and have a bit of a giggle maybe. So I'll figure out when exactly I'm gonna do that. But yes, thank you everybody who's given a shit about me on this platform. And I know it's 500 still very small in YouTube terms, but it means a lot to me personally. That it means that enough people actually give a shit about what I've got to say about anything. Um, it's overwhelming. So I am going to finish my beer. Probably get another one after that, and just I don't know, if there's a football match on the telly tonight or something, I'll sit here and watch this for a couple of hours. Okay, it's been Jeff, aka Godless Scummer. I shall see you all later. Salute.